So this is going to be part 2 of the service truck tour. So last time we did this cabinet on the driver's side right above the wheel, and we did the bumper. So I'm going to do what I didn't do. So this is the last cabinet at the back on the driver's side. So this has it has the big air reel in here. Is that, you see that? Is it focus? There it goes. It has the big air reel in here with the little box here. And then you can reel it out. I don't really use that all that often, only for my 3/4 gun. But then I got, it's just the Harbor Freight. It's the glove holder from Harbor Freight. And then I got just some rubber gloves from Napa. There's an air regulator here to regulate the hose, the big hose. But then I put this in here myself. This is a it's a Flexilla. It's a 50-foot Flexilla hose, and it's just the Harbor Freight, the hand crank. What is it? The hand crank air reel, and then it's got like a little whip hose that comes up to here. So I realized that after I did all this, that you can buy the one from Harbor Freight. It's this Flexilla hose with the automatic, like the ratcheting air reel and the whip hose for like $100. So for like $10 more, I could have just had that, but I didn't realize that till after I had done this. But I don't mind, this works pretty good. This is what I used 90% of the time. So then I just keep like chemicals here. These are those the scrub towels. There's glass cleaner and WD-40. There's some silicone. I just keep all that here. I usually keep a little more brake clean right here. Just I ran out. I found this little piece of metal, so I just screwed it on. That way it keeps the chemicals from at least falling out when I open the door. I have some earplugs back here, some new gloves that are still in the packaging. And then down one more shelf, I have the Fast Orange, the big pump. This is a brand new scrub towels. I saw them, so I figured I should grab them because I know that one's almost empty. And then back here is it's just a piece of pipe. The welders were throwing it away, so it just so happens to fit, and a whole bag of rags will fit in there, so it keeps the rags nice and organized. These are my regular gloves, just kind of laying there. Some connector. This little plastic thing, it's like a 7-Up or 2-liter bottle crate. It was in the truck, so I just use that for dirty rags. And this little box just so happened to fit here perfectly, and it's like, it works for garbage. And then I found this at an antique store. It's just a little Loctite thing, and I screwed it to the door, and I just got like anti-seize and Loctite. And this is pipe sealant for I had to do a pump on a water truck, so it was like a 4-inch piece of pipe. So then there's that cabinet. So I showed you that cabinet. So then the nice thing about the maintainer trucks is they have this crane controls are all manual. So they have electric crane controls too, but it's nice that they're manual. So if you just need to do something real quick, you don't have to get out the electric controller. So then back of the truck, these are just some battery cores. I just haven't had a chance to take them back yet. Ice chest, and then all the chains. So all the chains belong to the truck. That chain come along is mine. This is another little tip here. Is I found these in the scrap metal bin. The welders were throwing them away. They're like 4-inch square tubing, but they're like 1/2 inch thick, and they work really nice for like if you got to change out an idler on a excavator. I can just stack them up, and they don't, like, you can't, if you use a wood block, like, you could crack the wood block, but these don't like break or anything because they're steel. And then just a little 4-foot ladder. Just a little 4-foot ladder here. The Bobcat welder's here, and then it goes through the back. I have a grease gun, 5-gallon grease gun for tracks. The what is that thing? The fluid evac, some empty buckets, and then a bunch of 4x6s are back here. This is the air compressor. We got this box up here. It's just a toolbox. It's like a side box, I guess. But in here I keep, so there's some coolant back here. One of them's empty. I gotta fill it up. There's some windshield washer fluid. There's like more coolant. There's some transmission fluid, some gear oil, and then there's some empty cases and stuff in the back. It's just an empty case. I keep it in here. Milk crate. I got some extra big wrenches that I didn't know where else to put. I don't really use them. Straps, some extra parts, some Hitachi parts, some Cummins parts, Deere parts, just kind of extra stuff I keep up here that I don't use all that often. The shovel goes in the bumper, but I used it for a job, so I haven't had a chance to clean it off yet. There's a vise here. So then on this side, this is the other side of the bumper compartment. The shovel goes in here, but I just haven't put it in here. So there's a trenching shovel. There's one of them Daytona from Harbor Freight aluminum 1.5 ton jacks. I use that for like belly pans and stuff. The handle for that's here. There's a little Husky 6 ton bottle jack. The handle for that's over here somewhere too. There's a chain, or not a chain, it's a cable come along here with a double reduction, and there's a trenching shovel in here, and then this is the first box below the crane on the passenger side. So in here it's got the crane control and all the crane, like, this is the crane controller, and this is like the crane control, like the computer box, and then straps in here. There's lifting straps, there's like lifting eyes and bolts and random stuff for lifting in here. And then it's got a crane. Here's the crane. So then this cabinet is the one above the wheel on the passenger side. So then this one is so this is it's like Freightliner uses them. I don't think there's like a Delphi, that's the word. It's like a Delphi electrical kit. These are boxes that I got from Cat. This one's a WeatherPack kit. This is a Deutsch kit. This one's like miscellaneous, just like random other connectors. There's wire, just kind of random stuff in there. This I found at Home Depot. Well, hold on, let me take this one out first. It gets kind of stuck. Just an organizer, a DeWalt organizer I found at Home Depot. I keep like light bulbs in it, like miscellaneous O-rings and stuff that doesn't really fit anywhere else. There's some like DOT air fittings in here too. That fits there. This is actually what the WeatherPack kit came in, this little organizer, but I wanted this yellow box, so I put it in there. So then I didn't want to throw this away, so it's got screws, cotter pins, and machine screws. This is another Cat box, and it's just got like fuses and wiring connectors, and then it's got Cat part numbers and stuff. So there's that. That goes up here. So this is a John Deere O-ring kit. This is a Cat O-ring kit. This is also a Cat O-ring kit. This was my old one. It was missing a bunch of stuff, so I got a new one. But I didn't want to put this one away yet because there was some stuff in here that I wanted to put in that one. Just, you know, no time. Then there's this is a John Deere grease fitting kit. There's another flat face kit here, and then there's this is ACO rings, and then this is heat shrink. So then I keep zip ties up here, and then this little thing has got like bolts in it. So there's bolts like 6mm to 12mm, and then it's 1/4 to 1/2 inch, and then there's like random like hose clamps and like track bolts and random stuff in here. These bolts are for that's stuck. So these bolts are like for the pins on the buckets. It keeps the pin from spinning. There's like caps and plugs, and then I think this is like extra hydraulics fittings. I actually just used this the other day. There was a fitting in there that I needed. So that's this one here. And then this is the welding cabinet, which is right towards the front. So got a lot of different stuff in here. So the harness was in the truck when I got it. I have never used it, but I'm afraid to take it out because as soon as I take it out, I feel like I'm gonna need it. And then there's a what is this called? Art gouger. I couldn't think of the name. Art gouger in there. Keep my welding helmet here. There's a hook, and then I keep a welding jacket. So then down here, that's a Milwaukee Portaband. It's It's 120 volt. It's not battery powered or anything. Actually, I use that quite a bit. It's not like an everyday use tool, but it's definitely a tool that I use, and it's worth it to have it on the truck. And then there's a 50-foot extension cord here. There's battery cables, or not battery cables, jumper cables. And then there's the triangles. This is one of those F clamps from Harbor Freight. Keep that here. This was in the truck too. It's a 50-foot with 3 electrical cord, and it just plugs in. And then all the welding rod is here. I got 6011, 7018. There's some arc gouging rod. And then I got the torch stuff is here. Gloves, and then some layout tools, hat for welding. And then the welding cables are here, the ground clamp and the electrode. Got a Ryobi grinder, which actually works pretty well. There's a Milwaukee hole shooter 1/2-inch drill. All the grinding attachments are here. More stuff for these are like number 5 shaded lens glasses. You can see that. They're like green for torch. There's a striker. I got a torpedo level. There's some vice grips. This is a pipe wrap. Actually, funny stories. Right out of high school, I worked at a welding shop, and the old man called this a reach around. And I was like 19 and didn't understand what he was asking. But it's like, if I can get the lid open, it's just like it's like a fiber piece, and you wrap it around like a pipe. If you need something round, you got to get a line on it. You wrap it around, and it gets you a line that's like parallel. So that's this cabinet here, and then close that one, and then this one is the one right behind the cab, and this is where the torch is. So there's torch bottle, there's oxygen, acetylene, and then I have this is nitrogen that I use for like charging accumulators on wheel loaders, or AC testing. You can use that. And the nice thing is the hose wraps on the door like that, and then the nitrogen hose is just a hose with a JIC hose on the end, or JIC fitting on the end. And then one thing I really like about the Maintainer trucks is it separates the torch is separate from the welder, because like the last trucks that I had, like this was one big cabinet, and then the like the torches were there, and it just seemed really weird, because like you don't use the torches all the time, or you don't use the welder all the time, so it makes it nice to have it separate. And then I think this is like it's like vented, I guess, that way it doesn't like explode or anything. I'm not exactly sure, but so that's the rest of the truck. So right behind the cab on the driver's side, or the passenger side, and then the welding cabinet, we got that one, the crane control cabinet. Oh, and then the crane is a Maintainer. I think it's a 5,000 pound. I'm not exactly sure. Actually, it's right here. Actually, I don't know. Let's find out. It is 4,300 pound capacity crane. That was close. And then, see, that's the one kind of thing that, it's not that I don't like about the truck, but is the last truck I had, this was like a box, and then the crane was just mounted on top, so it gave you like extra storage area. But it's fine. I really like it. It helps to have this like open, so you can kind of see how things are going. So that's the rest of the truck tour. Hope you guys like it. Like, comment if you want any other videos like this.